today we are going to see the topic that is from first unit, and the first topic is what is undernutrition. Okay. So this comes under the heading malnutrition basically. So we are going to see what is malnutrition and what is the difference between undernutrition. And in that undernutrition, we are going to see the protein energy malnutrition. Okay. Now in this we study what is protein energy malnutrition, the areas which are get affected by this protein energy malnutrition, the causes of this protein energy malnutrition, disorders related to this protein energy malnutrition. We will discuss about that also, and some symptoms that are created because of this protein energy malnutrition. Previously we have discussed the general thing about the malnutrition and the overall syllabus discussion. So today we will see what is protein energy malnutrition, that is a kind of undernutrition basically. Okay. Then the areas which are get affected, then the causes and the disorders related to this protein energy malnutrition, and the symptoms of this disorder that are because of this PEM of the protein energy malnutrition. Okay. So from this topic is actually to understand what is malnutrition or the difference between the malnutrition and undernutrition basically. Okay. Then to understand what is PEM, that is protein energy malnutrition. Okay. Then to understand the disorders or the diseases related to this PEM or that is because of the deficiency of the protein. Okay. So these are some disorders related to this. So PEM. Then to know the symptoms of these PEM disorders. Okay. Let's start the topic with the introduction of this malnutrition. Actually, there are three terminologies are given here. Okay. So first is hunger, second is malnutrition, and third is undernutrition. But there is no difference between these two because they are interconnected to each other. Okay. How they are interconnected? Because nowadays whatever we are living, for what we are living, that is only because of hunger, or to fulfill the need of hunger nowadays. And what is hunger? Right? As you know, this is the physiological state that results when not enough food is eaten to meet energy needs. Okay? That means insufficient intake of food that is to be eaten by people, or there is no food to eat to people. Okay, and that is all because of the hunger. Okay, hunger. This is the need of the people, or the need of every every microorganism, you can say, or every organism, you can say. Okay, so to fulfill this hunger need, whatever we are doing nowadays, that is because of that only, right? And the second thing is malnutrition. What is malnutrition? So it is condition impaired development or the function caused by the deficiency or excess. Okay, malnutrition is nothing but the improper nutrition. Okay, that is an imbalanced nutrition. Either that is in less quantity, that is the deficiency of nutrients, and that is also because of the excess of nutrients. Okay, whatever we need or the daily requirement of our body, that is the daily requirement of nutrients. If it is insufficient and if it is excess also, it leads to the malnutrition. Okay. Then undernutrition, this is specified, okay, a type of nutrition, that is the food supply is insufficient to meet the foods of a population. That is, as we have discussed the hunger. Okay. So when there is insufficient quantity of food to meet the daily requirement of food, that leads to the undernutrition. That is, there is improper or the less food that is available for people, and because of that the undernutrition is there. Okay. So we will see, is there any difference between the malnutrition and undernutrition? Okay, and we are discussing this undernutrition, malnutrition. So this malnutrition refers basically that is the deficiencies or excess or the imbalance in the person's intake of energy and nutrients. Okay. So malnutrition is basically what? Either we whatever we food intake, that is in excess quantity, or it is in less quantity. That is the imbalance of the food intake or the protein intake or the energy or the calorie intake, you can say. So this imbalance between the excess intake and the less intake that generally leads to the malnutrition. Okay, so and we are discussing the undernutrition. Okay, so undernutrition is nothing but that is not excess of food. That is because of the improper supply of food or the insufficient intake of food that leads to the undernutrition. Okay, so this undernutrition, there are four broad forms of this undernutrition. What are these forms? Let's see. First is the wasting, stunting, then the underweight condition is there, then deficiencies in vitamins and minerals. As we have already discussed the vitamins and minerals, that is vitamin A deficiency, iron deficiency, iron deficiency. These conditions are nothing but they are also the undernourished condition. Okay, we can call it as. And three main basic conditions because of this undernutrition are the stunting, wasting, and the underweight condition. Okay, so what is this stunting and wasting? So wasting is nothing but the low weight for the height. Okay, low weight for height it is known as wasting. Say if there is a children of or there is a child of 2 feet, or say I am standing in front of you. If my height is 5'5" and my weight is 30 kg only, so I would be the undernourished girl or the woman, you can say. Okay, so that means the person's height is generally larger than the body's weight. Okay, so person will appear tall and thin, very thin. So this is called as the wasting. And the second thing is low height for the age. Okay, it is known as stunting. That is stunting is the short height, you can call it that. Okay, short height people are called as stunted people. So this stunting is the short height people and for their age. This is nothing but the stunting. Okay, so these are conditions of the undernutrition. Remember, students. Now in this picture you can see the conditions of malnutrition, and we are discussing the malnutrition and undernutrition both. But you need to know the first thing, that is malnutrition is basically of two types. Okay, here two types are given here. Malnutrition, first type is overnutrition and undernutrition, and they are discussing the excess of intake and less intake or the insufficient intake. So excess of intake of food or the energy or the proteins that leads to the overnutrition, and further they leads to the obesity and the coronary heart diseases also. Okay, and here in the left side you can see the overnourished people or the children, that are the obese people or the obese children you can see, and the reason behind this obesity you can see here. Okay, that is a sitting position for longer time, as nowadays we are controlling everything by remote in one place at one, by sitting in one place only. So that also leads to the obesity. Okay, and again due to this pandemic condition of this coronavirus, we are having work from home. So that may also lead to the obesity or increase in weight. So be careful, students. Okay. Then the second disease or the disorder regarding this malnutrition is undernutrition, and that's what we are discussing here, and that is because of the protein energy undernutrition or the protein energy malnutrition. And there are two diseases of the disorder related to this PEM or the protein energy malnutrition, that is marasmus and the kwashiorkor. Okay, so this kwashiorkor like malnutrition. So in the right hand picture you can see this is the kwashiorkor condition, when you can see the children with the swelling at the belly region, the swelling of stomach, you can say, that is called as edema, and overall body weight is low or the less. Okay, so this condition is because of the kwashiorkor, and marasmus we will see the figure for the marasmus we will see later on. Now let's come to the main definition, that is malnutrition and undernutrition. That is for your viva and for your MCQ also. So malnutrition is a physical condition in which people experience either nutrition deficiencies, okay, and nutrition deficiency, and we are discussing that is the undernutrition, that is improper or insufficient intake of food or the protein energy you can call it that, or excess of a certain nutrients, that is the overnutrition. Right? So this malnutrition there are two types of the malnutrition. First is the undernutrition and second is overnutrition. Undernutrition is because of the insufficient intake and deficiencies, and overnutrition that is because of the excess intake of food or the protein. Okay. Then undernutrition condition. What is undernutrition? The physical condition resulting from the deficiencies in one or the several macro and the micronutrients. The deficiency or the improper intake of the micro and the macronutrients, as we have already discussed the vitamins and the mineral deficiencies. Okay, that are also the undernourished condition. Then it impairs growth. Okay, that it affects growth, pregnancy. Okay, that is the child that is present in womb of that mother that also get affected due to this undernutrition condition. Then lactation that get affected, that is the milk production also get affected because of this undernutrition. Then the physical work that are get retarded or physical work gets lower down. Then cognitive functions or the cognitive dysfunction you can call it, and that is the brain related functions they get slower down. Okay, that is the thinking power of people that gets slowed down because of this undernutrition, and the disease resistance and the recovery that also get affected. That means because of this undernourished condition, one develops the lower immunity. Okay, so once immunity get lower down, it cannot defeat against the diseases. So the recovery rate of the diseases is also less because of this undernutrition. Okay. Now let's discuss about the groups which are mainly affected because of this undernutrition or the protein energy malnutrition. Okay, as I am saying purposefully undernutrition, that is the protein energy malnutrition is the undernutrition. Remember this, right? So this protein energy malnutrition mainly affects the children most because they have the less protein intake. Okay, as you know, children are having attitude like I'm not going to eat this kind of food, I don't like this kind of food, like that. So because of this behavior of children, they intake improper or insufficient food. So because of that, it can lead to the protein energy malnutrition. And also few rare cases are also there, like in developed world or in developing countries also, the almost entirely found in small children as a result. Okay, in developing countries also. So the groups in underdeveloped countries, they are mainly affected. The tribal areas of India, they are also get affected. But some in developed countries also, some small children, they are affected due to this PEM. And the reason for this affliction is that is the fat diets. Okay, because fat diet that involves the junk food, okay, that is intake of junk food, they are not having any kind of energy or the protein. So because of that fat diet also, they are facing this PEM problem. Then ignorance of the nutritional needs of children, as in developing countries, many mothers are working. Okay, so as they are working, they cannot pay attention to their children for the or to fulfill their food intake. So because of that working condition of that woman, they cannot pay attention to the children's energy need. Okay. Then particularly, this is also the main reason of this PEM is particularly in cases of milk allergy. Some children are having a milk allergy. Okay. When they consume the milk, they develop some allergic reaction on their skin, and some are also lactose intolerant. Okay. So they vomit milk after taking that. Okay, so these are some conditions that are leads to the PEM in children, and most of this childhood or this childhood group is mostly affected by this PEM. Okay? So let's talk about the symptoms of this protein energy malnutrition. What are the symptoms? So clinical symptoms of this PEM, they are include, here you can see the weight gain. Okay, that is low weight gain, you can call it that. Then slowing linear growth. So the growth of children, that is also get affected due to this less protein intake or the less energy. Okay, due to the less energy. Then the behavioral changes are also there. That is, the child is mostly found irritable. Okay, so he always, we can find him always irritating or irritable. Then apathy, we can see in them. Apathy is nothing but a kind of depression in the children. Then the decreased social responsiveness, that means they hide themselves from the people. Okay, that is the homesickness you can call it as. Then anxiety. Anxiety is nothing but a kind of chintha, like then and attention deficit. That is, they does not like attention. Okay, they hide themselves from people. They are homesick. These conditions are developed due to this protein energy malnutrition in children. Okay. So here some clinical effects of malnutrition are given here. Okay, and these clinical effects of malnutrition, and these are basically of undernutrition or the protein energy malnutrition. Okay. So first we'll see about the head, that is the psychology, depression and apathy, and we have already discussing this. That is, children develop psychological depression, okay, or the kind of apathy, that is also kind of depression. Then lower immunity, that is increased risk of infection is there. As the immunity gets lower down, there is an increased risk of infection by any kind of diseases. Okay, so early. Then decreased cardiac output is observed in these malnourished children. Okay, that is the cardiac output or the BP is also low in this kind of children. Then renal function, this malnutrition or the undernutrition that also affect the renal function, that is loss of ability to excrete sodium and water. That is, you can call it as some kidney disorders are there, or improper functioning of kidney is also there, that cannot secrete the sodium and water properly. Okay. Then hypothermia, as we have already discussed, this belongs to the T3 and T4 function, that is the thyroid gland function. And this hypothermia condition is one can feel cold during summer also. Okay. So this hypothermia is there. Loss of strength, that is muscle weakness is there, that is one cannot stand for a long time. Okay. Then anorexia and loss of appetite. Okay. After some time they develop that condition that they उनको भूख ही नहीं लगती after some conditions. Okay. Then impaired gut integrity and immunity. Okay, so their growth or the gut, you can say, that is intestine, that get impaired or that get affected, and it leads to the lower immunity again. Okay, and that may lead to the disorders related to the stomach or the digestive system. Then impaired wound healing is observed, that is nothing but there is less wound healing capacity is developed in this kind of children. Okay, that is, wound does not get healed so quickly. It takes longer time to heal the wound. Okay, then liver fatty change. Okay, in these malnourished people, we observe the fatty liver and the functional decline, necrosis and the fibrosis, that is clearing of tissue is observed, and fatty liver is observed that affects the function of liver for the secretion of bilirubin also. Okay. And then in some cases ventilation problems are there, that is loss of muscle and the hypoxic responses. Okay. The muscle response, that is inhalation, exhalation, that is also get affected, and the loss of muscle hypoxic responses that also get lost. Okay. So these are some clinical effects of malnutrition or the undernutrition, we can say. Now, what is this actual PEM or the protein energy malnutrition? Sometimes it is also called as protein energy undernutrition, that is PEU. As you know, and we are discussing this malnutrition, but this malnutrition is basically the undernutrition because of the insufficient intake of the protein or the energy, we can say, right? So it is a kind of malfunction or the malnutrition. So this is again a type of malnutrition as we have already discussed. So it is defined as, this PEM is defined as, it is a range of pathophysiological condition arising from the coincident lack of dietary protein and the energy in the form of calories in varying proportion. Okay, that means this is the pathophysiological condition in which pathophysiological is any kind of disease condition, you can call it. So this disease condition is because of the coincident lack of proteins and energy. Okay, so protein and energy in the form of calorie. Okay, remember the protein in the form of calorie. When it is taken in insufficient quantity, it leads to the protein energy under nutrition. Okay, so this condition has mild, moderate, and the severe degrees of infection. Okay, depending on the need. Okay, so these can be the mild, they can be the moderate, and the severe kind of malnutrition can also be observed. Okay, now, according to the World Health Organization (WHO), this PM refers to an imbalance between the supply of protein and energy. Okay, according to the WHO, what are given here? So the imbalance of protein and energy in the form of calories and body's demand for them to ensure the optimal growth and function. Okay, so whatever our body require, okay, whatever the energy or the protein require for our body, that get imbalances due to improper intake of protein as well as the energy or the calorie giving food. Okay, so that leads to this malnutrition condition. So it is a major public health problem in India nowadays. So in most of the countries, this India is the leading country of this PEM nowadays. Okay. So some diseases caused by this protein energy deficiency. What are the diseases which are caused by this PEM? Let's discuss about this. So it is based on available literature. The researchers arrived the conclusion that the insufficient intake of protein may causes the various health problems. Okay. So what are these various health problems? So these are nothing but the Kwashiorkor and the marasmus diseases. These are the two leading diseases that is because of this PEM condition or the undernutrition condition, that is improper intake of protein and energy. Okay. But there is a difference between this Kwashiorkor and marasmus. We are going to discuss in this next slide. Okay. So because of this protein energy deficiency, the diseases we are observing are marasmus and the Kwashiorkor. Then the mental health that get also affected, or mental retardation is also observed in some cases. Then the edema is observed, that is swelling at particular region of the body, that is on belly portion. Most commonly it is seen. Then organ failure is there. Then the wasting and the shrinkage of muscles tissues are there. Then the weakness of immune system, as we have already discussed some clinical symptoms of this, clinical disorders of this PEM. So these are some diseases or the disorders which are observed because of this protein energy deficiencies. Okay. So diseases will continue. So the malnutrition may result from the moderate protein intake, that is related to the energy. Okay, the protein intake relative to the energy, that is called as the Kwashiorkor disease, and the inadequate energy intake relative to the protein, energy intake relative to the protein, but related to the calorie, that leads to the marasmus. Okay, so the micronutrient involves here vitamins, minerals, trace elements are closely linked to the overall micronutrient supply. So the deficiency of this micronutrient definitely leads to this kind of diseases like Kwashiorkor and marasmus. Then the nutrient deficiency is the main cause of marasmus. Okay, marasmus means the children's body appear very thin. Okay, that is because of the improper intake of nutrients or energy in the form of calorie. So it occurs in children basically. Okay, and we are discussing that only. They don't ingest enough protein and calories, carbohydrates, and other important nutrients. That is, they develop capacity to indigest this kind of food. That is, they cannot digest protein properly, carbohydrates properly, and some important nutrients also. So that leads to this protein energy malnutrition. And yes, this figure is very important for you. That is the difference between this Kwashiorkor and marasmus. So here in this Kwashiorkor, at left side you can observe this baby is having a protuberant belly here. Then itchy rashes on skin is observed, and the xerosis, that is the dry skin, is observed in this baby of this Kwashiorkor. And at the right side you can see the marasmus. My right side. So marasmus, it is given. So it is the prominent bones are observed in this child. Okay, you can observe this ribs of this child. Then decrease in subcutaneous fat. There is actually no fat get deposited in this marasmus condition, as they cannot digest food properly, or proteins, as we have discussed, right? So the major differences of this kwashiorkor and marasmus. In kwashiorkor, it develops in children whose diets are deficient of protein. Okay, so the kwashiorkor disease, that is because of the improper intake of protein. Okay, and marasmus, that is because of the deficiency of proteins and calories both. Okay, in your exam, if question asked like uh, what is the disease that is because of the deficiency of proteins and calories, that is the marasmus. Okay, and because of deficiency of protein, that is the kwashiorkor. Then second difference, it occurs in children between 6 months to 3 years of age, kwashiorkor, and marasmus, it is common in infants under 1 year of the age. Okay, so these are the main groups which are get infected, what can we say, which are get affected by this protein energy malnutrition. Then subcutaneous fat is preserved in this kwashiorkor disease. Okay, so at left hand you can see the baby is having much more fat than the marasmus baby. Then subcutaneous fat is not preserved in the marasmus. There are no fat, that's why the ribs are seen here, right? Then oedema is present, that is the swelling is present in kwashiorkor, and oedema is absolutely absent in the marasmus. That is, the body is very thin and no swelling is there. Then in kwashiorkor there is enlarged fatty liver is seen, and because of this enlarged fatty liver, the belly appears like this, or the protruded belly is observed here. Then no fatty liver is observed in marasmus. Then ribs are not very prominent in the kwashiorkor, as there is a deposition of fats over it, right? And the ribs are very prominently observed in this marasmus. That is, there is no fat deposition there. Then the kwashiorkor baby feel lethargic, the tiredness, and the marasmus baby, you can see that is alert and then irritable always. Okay. Then the kwashiorkor baby, that is muscle wasting, or the mild muscle wasting is there, or it may completely absent also. Okay. That is weakening of muscle or thinning of muscle is absent, and here severe muscle wasting is there, or the thinning of muscle is there. Okay. Then poor appetite is seen in kwashiorkor, whereas in marasmus they are the voracious feeder. That means they feel hunger all the time. They are hungry always. And in kwashiorkor, the person suffering from the kwashiorkor needs adequate amount of protein, because this is the deficiency disorder of proteins only, right? And here the marasmus, the person suffering from the marasmus needs adequate amount of protein, fats and carbohydrates, also in the form of calories. Okay? So they need calories as well as proteins. So these are some differences you need to know about this kwashiorkor and marasmus. Now, where this undernutrition mostly seen, as we have already discussed, but the highlighted points are some given here. Some highlighted points are given here. So, it is mostly observed in developing countries and some underdeveloped countries also. It is most commonly in underdeveloped countries, but nowadays it is seen in the developing countries and some developed countries also, as we have discussed, that is because of the working mothers. Okay. So this is the main condition for this PEM in developed countries. Then in developed countries, undernutrition is usually far less common than the overnutrition, because in developing countries, the overnutrition or the malnutrition, like overnutrition, is observed because excess intake of food or the resting position and the work from home, as we have discussed. Right? So however, certain conditions increase the risk of undernutrition also, and the risk of the conditions we have already discussed, like insufficient intake of food, insufficient intake of protein and energy is there, okay, due to the less breastfeeding also, and some disease conditions that may also lead to this undernutrition. So this is usually due to the poverty and the scarcity of food which are available in the tribal area or in some underdeveloped countries. Okay. So this may be the main reason, poverty. That may be the main reason for this PEM. Okay. Now, how do you test protein malnutrition? Okay. How will you come to know this is the protein energy malnutrition only? How will you detect this is the PEM? Okay. So, by measuring the protein nutritional status, okay, from blood, that includes the serum albumin, radial binding protein, peralbumin, transferrin, and creatine. Okay, by observing the levels of this from blood, okay, by collecting the blood sample and by doing the test for the particular amount of these proteins, we can say this person is suffering from the protein energy malnutrition or not. And the main things which mainly says this is a protein energy malnutrition as a confirmatory test, that is the radical binding protein, then the peralbumin and the transferrin determinants are much better short-term indicators of the protein status than the albumin. Okay, which you can go for the detection of the radical binding protein, peralbumin, transferrin determinants. So amount of these three that can tell you whether you are suffering from the PE or PEM or not. Okay. So this was all about the topic, that is protein energy malnutrition or protein energy undernutrition also. Okay. And I have referred these references. You can refer for this PEM of the undernutrition. Now students, you need to do the assignment. Two questions are there. First, you explain protein energy malnutrition with the disorders in detail. And second, what are the causes of this protein energy PEM? You can upload it on your your assignment on Google Classroom. Then you can upload it on my email, that is amritalradhav@radiationcollege.ac.in. So let's summarize this topic. What we have studied in this, we have studied what is malnutrition, types of malnutrition, that is overnutrition and undernutrition. Okay, so overnutrition that leads to the obesity and coronary heart disease, and undernutrition that basically leads to the two main diseases, Kwashiorkor and marasmus. Then causes of this PEM diseases, then disorders related to this PEM, and the symptoms and the clinical symptoms we have seen in this topic basically. Okay, I hope you understand this lecture very well. And do you have any doubt regarding this? You can ask me. In the next lecture, we are going to see the overnutrition and the overnutrition related diseases, that is obesity and the coronary heart